Namaskar, ladies and gentlemen, Priya Bhakton, Shirdi Baba's great devotees, Sri Charana's great devotees, and Narasimha's Gurunath's great devotees. Welcome to this satsang. All those who come to the satsang, there are many more will be coming. I already gave a latitude of 15 minutes, right? One shouldn't take advantage of, particularly these, the satsangs are very important because I'll give an introduction to how karma affects consciousness. This one of the devotees asked a brilliant question. By any standards, this is one of the best questions. The second devotee to ask in this world, to me, of course. Not many people think of karma. We keep doing acting, full of action from morning till evening. Teaching music, dancing kuchipudi, and listening to uncle, calling uncle, emailing, going to Srishti, buying those flowers, and forgetting third Saturday. A lot of people forget third Saturday because just now a famous devotee, very famous devotee right from day one called me from California. I said, are you 4:30 their time? Are you going to do the puja? Said, my son is shifting to a room. My son is shifting to a room. Is it okay? Yeah. If it is too loud, please tell me. If Houston says it's too loud, also please tell me. Okay, we'll have to adjust. Our photographer is really efficient technology-wise and very. I welcome. I usually don't do these things, but I welcome the council woman in Atlanta, Miss Stacy, to this lecture in Atlanta, not here, and Mr. Parmesh, the councilman, the honorable councilman, the honorable councilwoman, council persons sitting there for the satsang. This is the first time Miss Stacy is coming to this lecture or the puja. She pretty much wants to know what is going on in the Dwarakamayi Puja, why so many people in the country are following. Time magazine must have told her, because we have chosen uncle as one of the 1,000. It's a far cry, one of the 1,000. I want to be one of the 10, by the grace of my uncle. One of the 1,000 very effective, useful human beings who is doing service to humanity. So I'm one of the 1,000, therefore the councilwoman must have had. The future council persons, congresswoman in Houston, the future senator in Austin, they are also watching this satsang, and they are all avid listeners to all the miracle stories of Shirdi Sai. I welcome Srimati Susmita and Sri Naveen in Cedar Park, Austin, for doing this puja, and the Ahujas in Houston, Seema Ahuja and Raja Ahuja, very humble and very bright devotees in Houston, in their home. I welcome all the devotees, the largest congregation known to me. I also wish a very nice happy birthday. The song was already given to Miss Tejika. I can also say the future pediatrician. She's aiming to do pediatrics, and she will be a very famous and knowledgeable doctor. I wish her a very happy birthday. Many birthdays in many cities I may not be knowing because I don't keep track of birthdays. Simple fact. I welcome all of you, and every minute a story, every second a miracle. That means some people, if people think, they will say, Mama, every second a miracle, and therefore 60 seconds make a minute, and therefore there are 60 miracles in a story. Of course, the miracle galore, that's what I meant by a miracle every second. Why do you say that? Why did I say that? Because you keep on doing something or the other in human lives. You keep on working towards some goal. Whether you are IT, whether you are a pediatrician or a neurophysician, a neurosurgeon, or you are an MP in India. Sorry, I did a wrong name. In Bharat. Is it officially known as Bharat? Not yet. So, unofficially, I'll call Bharat, officially India. Still, and don't get a wrong idea. I'm not referring to the India dot N dot opposed to NDA. That's all politics and elections. I'm talking about India, the country from which you all came. Some of you didn't, I know. Human lives, I told you, is full of action. I also said when Shirdi Baba mingles in it, your life becomes a story. And when he blesses you, it becomes a miracle. How true can this statement? Nothing could be further from truth. Because when Shirdi Baba mingles in your life and becomes part and parcel of your life will become a miracle, and that is why you will enjoy every second. Several people say, Mama, I'm not enjoying. Ron will say, is Ron here? He will say, Mama, not even 1 month, 6 months, miracles are not happening. I can't change the title for your sake. Because miracles are going to happen in your life. You were injured on the shoulder, trying to hit a sixer. He's a cricketer. Where is Murari? He's a senior cricketer, plays very well. He's also a bowler. He's a pretty good fielder at slip and gully. Don't ask me where is gully and slip. I played 100 years ago. So, this cricketer, he didn't get selected in the H1B lottery. Let me tell him something. Let me tell his mother from Kolkata. Please raise your hand. The mother was a principal of a school and was seen very high positions. She writes fantastic emails, pretty good in English language. I enjoy reading. God didn't give me time to reply, but otherwise I'll go one notch above in her English. She writes to me everything about Ron. She is very worried. I told her, don't worry about anybody. Just detach yourself from your father, brother, mother, from your sister in Houston. Is she here? Yeah. She carries half the name of West Bengal Chief Minister. So she's half as powerful as Mamata Banerjee. Last visit she was here. I was very afraid of talking because she's part and parcel of India, I.N. She might be the face of future Prime Minister. I got to be careful, Amrit, right? When these miracles are happening in your life, good karma has to be a basis. The devotee who is here today asked me, how much good karma you have to do and what is the big thing about consciousness? Is there a relationship? What a wonderful question. There is a beautiful relationship. An architect built by Sripada Srivallabha, Sri Narasimha Saraswati and our uncle Sri Deva, Shirdi Baba. I talk about Shirdi Baba because I have seen him several times. He has come and blessed me. I've seen him right from my childhood, maybe thousands of times when I was a child, 1 year, 2 years old, 3 years old. In those times, every minute was a story. My mother used to tell me some of the stories. Every second used to be a miracle in my life, adult life. As an engineering student, here is an engineering student sitting there. Why is this karma, karmic life, be a part of your C factor? B plus C is equal to consciousness, equal to surrender, total surrender. In that, Navavida Bhakti, one can develop that also. In one Janma, you can develop Navavida Bhakti. The 7th, 8th, and 9th are very important. Dasya, Sakya, and Atma Nivedan of the 9 items, these 3 are very important. I have covered it in another lecture. But then coming back to good karma, karma and consciousness are intertwined with each other. That is why in your thoughts, several people didn't know, my thoughts form part of karma, uncle? Because one of the lectures 3 months ago, I said, your thoughts, not only your action, your thought, your action, the modus operandi, the way you talk with your wife, your husband, your children, all these things, even planning, the IT people plan a lot for the deployment. The deployment is very high and you sometimes miss the 3rd Saturday satsang. Because of deployment, you work. Jyoti Garu used to say, Mama, I am working next 4 or 5 days, I have to work 24 hours. She has done that. She won't sleep. Why is such a karma being done? Among the karma, A good karma is very important. That's why coming to the puja, I always used to say, coming to the Dwarakamayi puja will develop consciousness. Nobody asked me what is the relationship, what is the intricate relationship, what is the unconquerable, very distinguishable relationship between karma and consciousness. B plus C, I said B, bhakti, at higher levels of bhakti, you will be doing karma. A good person who is having very good bhakti will be doing only good actions. Therefore, bhakti leads, higher levels of bhakti leads to 7, 8, 9, I told you, dasya, sakya. Atma nivedan, which is total surrender. Sakya is friendship. The other one is service. Dasya is friendship, sakya is friendship, dasya is, the other thing I told. These three are important because at those three levels of Navavida Bhakti, you will be doing only good karma. I told you the action, the thoughts that you have should be good. If the thoughts are good, you will develop good consciousness. But the rate at which you think and act in this world and the rate at which consciousness is formed, they are entirely different. It is a very popular saying that Brahma, when he twinkles, closes and opens his eyes, 1,000 years, let me say that 1,000 years pass on this planet. How is that possible? Albert Einstein also didn't solve, he didn't know the speed of time, speed of light, speed of sound, everybody knows. You know all the planets, you know Chandrayaan 3, you know Shiva Shakti spot, South Pole, everything you know. But do you know the time with which, velocity with which time travels? The first book is a philosophical book, treatise, written by Shankar Bhatt, solved that problem. Because I knew for the first time, I was thinking about as an engineering student, I thought about several universes and all that. I wrote an essay that got a very special award in India, Bharat. Why do I say that? I thought about all these things in the high school. Why are human beings so crazy about action? For everything, for every action, there's the law goes, there's a reaction, equal and opposite. That also is wrong, but I'm not declaring that. Einstein's general theory of relativity, and as an engineering student, I told the professor, Dr. Will Kolluri Ramanaya, his real name, I don't know whether he's still living in Coimbatore. He said, you come and see me after this lecture, his lecture. Professors, when they don't know answers, they always say that. Come and see me. I took my assistant professor of physics department, who was my student advisor with me. He went and gave an introduction to me. What a beautiful introduction. Vishwanath, and I was known as Vishwanath. Now I am Sai uncle. Said he knows a lot, he can predict future, he wants to alleviate India's poverty. And what is he doing in engineering? That is his hobby. I took a high first class in PSG College of Technology, Coimbatore, doing 7 to 8 extracurricular activities, also editing my college newspaper. Why I say all these things is good karma. When you say good things that Albert Einstein's theory was wrong, you have to wait. I told the professor without blinking of an eyelid, I said you have to wait 30 years, 1966 plus 30. You do the math. I'm not very strong in mathematics. Like neuroscience students know, they're all good. 1996. Come 1996, Albert Einstein's theory was disproved by the string theory held by a Japanese, found out by a Japanese research scientist. How do you know all these things? Good karma. If you keep on doing good karma, at the level crossing is a lean, lanky, this guy, struggling with the platform, the level crossing is off, is on. The train will come after 45 minutes. This is 1965, okay? You are not even born, except our principal from Kolkata. You are also not born. Why I said this is, a strong Jack LaLanne kind of man will come, said, Thambi, Yempinalava, my dear brother, younger brother, Thambi in Tamil, come behind me. He will just touch the cycle like this. The cycle will be lifted. I saw that with my own 2 eyes, and then he will just bring it. This thing, there's a small this thing round, and then you can enter, and I go there. He just puts it back. He said in Tamil, whenever you come to the level crossing, I'll come and help you. Your bus is waiting there. Go to the JM Bakery, park your cycle and get into the bus. I'll put the bus, PSG College of Technology, PSG Tech bus standing till you reach. I went there, the bus was still waiting. Why is he doing this miracle? Think about it. Why is somebody favored by Shirdi Baba and somebody not favored? Ron keeps on thinking, Mama, the same miracles Baba is not doing in my life. Ron will be flooded with miracles. He's a very successful gentleman, young man. How can he be afraid of GMAT? How can he be afraid of TOEFL? You speak English so well. You play just like you play cricket, right? Every ball hits sixers. Like my times, like Jaishima, Farooq engineer, my times. So you are still afraid. If you are afraid of anything, you don't develop good karma. If you are afraid of scoliosis, my son has got scoliosis, it's only 3 degrees, doctors say 10 degrees. If you keep on entertaining doubts about your own son who does not have scoliosis, that worry, referring to my Calcutta devotee, that worry will turn into bad karma. Because in the time you are worrying so much, you could be thinking positive things. My son does not have scoliosis. It's only 3 degrees, uncle says, and therefore it will be 3 degrees. If you go like this in life, every day you will be building lots of good karma. 29 days, 30th day you will be in the Puja. That's why so many cities they are doing Puja. That is a relationship of good karma and consciousness. They develop in different. You do 1000 good karma, your consciousness level will be gross level, it will be just edging past the second level of gross level. There are 3 levels of consciousness, gross. And what is the second level? Mental level is third. Yeah, subtle level. She knows, subtle level. Subtle level, in order to reach, you got to become, when you reach third, level 3, many people will be, putting your collar up, street lingo in India, put your collar up and then say, I am a Maharishi. Because you have reached a subtle level. A person who has subtle consciousness is a very great person. We don't have many in this world because you are born with probably negative consciousness, minus 75, minus 25, 0. 0 is lucky because you will go into gross level, 2 levels, you will go edge past first level by the time you will be 90 years old. That is why, in order to develop good consciousness, I have been doing a work with doctors, neuroscientists, pediatricians, any doctor, MD, to stall your cells from aging, stall the cells. I've been thinking about this as an mechanical engineering student, a pure medical topic, stall the age. You will be a child till you are 15 years old. You'll be suckling your mother's breast until you are 15, in the new age. And then 15 to 30, you will be a boy like Murari, right? Like Chetan, like so many here. And then 30 to 65, 70, you will be your middle age. The current 50 will be 80. From 80 to 150 will be your old age. The evening of your life comes when after 150, 200. This perhaps was the rule during 5,000-6,000 years ago when Maharishis used to live in India, Bharat. 6,000 years ago, they used to live forever. That's why Agastya is still living near Coimbatore in the Marudamalai temple's cave. As said in the first chapter of Sripada Sri Vallabha, it is said, the tiger, you remember? It will say Om and then it will be reverberating throughout the universe and then it goes up. Vaishnavi knows about the first chapter. Why did Shankar Bhatt develop that kind of a good karma? Was it Kanika Parameshwari of the temple, South India corner? What is that corner? Kanyakumari. She is the Amman there, Kanyakumari Amman. So, did she give? Yeah, definitely. Sripada Sri Vallabha sent him there, and she is the one who says, you will have the glory of meeting with Sri Charana, and then sends him back. He comes to Maruttuvamalai, that's called Marudamalai, near Coimbatore. It's part of Coimbatore today, where Bharatidasan, famous university is situated, Bharatidasan University. Vadavalli, a famous township where homes you want to build, you must have bank balance of crores and crores of rupees. I don't know how many zeros in a crore. Recently coming from India. Oh, he says, no, I don't know. His India returned recent. Because you have credit cards all in US dollars. I'll be ahead of you in Kashi. This devotee, her name is, I'll introduce her, Ratna. Ratnamala or a Ratna, a great devotee, a corporate executive, a great devotee in the last 10-15 years. She knows me, even though she's living in some other town. Ratna was traveling in Kashi with great gusto and enthusiasm. She liked the city so much because for a long time she has been wondering, I'm taking you to Kashi, Varanasi for some of you. Kashi, the oldest city for older people like me. And the famous city, Banaras, for all of you, where Mother Ganges is, right, silently running until you run your boat there on Ganges. She is thinking so much because she likes one thing in Kashi. Two things, in fact. She went to all the temples, all the gods, traveled by boat on Mother Ganga, and wandered on the boat. She's looking, it's almost evening, dusk, and then evening Arati is getting ready. Though some of you would have seen the Arati, fabulous Arati, the one of its kind in the world, only on Mother Ganga. And she's getting ready, she's in the boat, and then she's looking at all the past births. She's saying, Baba, she's a great devotee of Shirdi Baba. She's thinking how many births I have taken, how many times I touched the water makes a beautiful sound. And then she's taking some water in the bottle to be brought to Hyderabad and then this country. So she goes to all those things, and one of her desire for a long time is, don't laugh at this, her desire is to eat Varanasi's Imriti along with the hot milk. The halwai fellow, the Banaraswala or Banaraswali, will be selling very nice milk, huge pan in which he will be doing this constantly. Those of you who are from North India, is a familiar scene in any North Indian city, more so in Banaras. Banarasi Pan is also very famous. It was, but not anymore. She's wondering, I want to take this, and then she wants to do personal abhishekam to Lord Shiva. On the lingam, the original lingam, you'll call it Atmalingam. Atmalingam is so powerful that Ravana wanted to live forever and conquer all the gods and goddesses, all the Rakshasas and human beings, and add to his already powerful stature. Ravana with 10 heads, he got Atmalinga, right? But he didn't succeed in carrying it all the way to Sri Lanka. Therefore, she steps out of the boat, calmly saunters up the steps of the god. She told me the god is this Hanuman god. And then she goes there, and then she finds a Banaraswala selling Imriti. But while going, she didn't forget to watch. She watches very carefully. An old man, don't have your imagination running amok. He's an old man. When uncle says old man, Mama, we know the rest of the story. You need not tell it. I'm going to tell. Because this old man is walking in front. Before she left Hyderabad the previous day, before she took the flight in the Hyderabad airport, a dream came in which she said, I will be ahead of you in Kashi. Those of you who read Satcharita very meticulously with as a means of developing good karma, he says to Shama, I'll be ahead of you in Gaya. Am I right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Gaya. This is Kashi. I'll be ahead of you in Kashi. She didn't understand. She reads so much, a very staunch devotee of Hanumanji, Shankat Motion, Varanasi, and staunch devotee of Shirdi Baba and Lord Shiva. Shiva means she will start dancing. I'll bring one day here to this home. Let me see if he is dancing to front of Shiva, my host. She's walking, the old man is walking, and then she finds a Banarsiwala. She orders Imruti, and then she, one eye on Imruti, one eye on the old man. The old man goes, and then suddenly she's thinking, why is the old man going ahead of me? If he's following, that's a different story. Old man following me is okay. She's pretty young, and therefore it's okay. That is anything but stalking. Stalking and all that is only in the United States. This is a US term. India, Shiva can stalk Ratna. Ratna can stalk Shiva. She was in fact stalking Shiva in Varanasi. And therefore, she gets the Imruti and milk, about to take the lady's purse and then about to pay. Hey, how much? She thought Imruti and milk will be about 875 rupees. 1,000 rupees, right? 1,000 rupees has got no meaning in India. If you have gone there recently, India returned. She pays, when you are about to pay, the Banarsiwala in chase to Uttar Pradesh, Hindi says, वो जो आदमी जो है, बुजुर्ग means old, बुजुर्ग वाला, हिंदी में कहते हैं कि he has already paid for you. She says, what? He paid? He was not stalking, he is going in front of me. She is getting a taste of the dream, I'll be ahead of you in Kashi. She is thinking, I will be, that's all. Because she is in front of her, this thing on her hand is Imruti. The most famous Imruti of Banaras. It's famous also in Lucknow, Kanpur, Allahabad, everywhere in Uttar Pradesh. Hey, it's famous in Irving and Texas, DFW. Imruti is told in Royal Airlines, no, Royal Suites. I'm sorry, so many people, so many things in my brain. Therefore, he started taking Imruti. And the old man has already paid. And Ratna was very, very surprised. She is now taking a special look at the old man. He is not, after all, that old. So she is wondering, what's going on here in India? I came from Hyderabad, which is India to me. The host knows, all of you know. I asked in South Haven, Mama, I am going to India tomorrow. Oh, you are going to Hyderabad, right? First it was quizzical. Why is Mama saying Hyderabad? After a long time, they all came to know Hyderabad means Mama means only India. Now Hyderabad means Bharat. Yeah. Let me not get into the ire of any BJP people here. Non-resident BJPs, they'll be stronger. She goes to Sri Annapurni Devi temple. In Banaras, for the Annapurni temple, you have got to walk a little bit in a small lane. You have to make a left turn and then go there. Your camera should be deposited. You cannot take any picture. I was allowed to take one picture. I took it, clicked it, and everybody kept quiet. And therefore, I thought, okay, only one picture. Annapurni Devi said only one picture. In this temple, she thought, is he coming ahead of me? She goes into the Annapurni temple. You got to pay to the Archagar, the priest. There's a minimum. There is a board there. Don't be surprised. 200 rupees is the minimum. The person standing next to me had 100 rupees in her hand. I warned her, my wife knows, I warned her, you have to take one more note. Greenback, which is in India 100 bucks. So therefore she said, no, I don't have 100 bucks. I am a poor woman, and therefore she came, I allowed her to go first so that I can help her. That fellow refused to get 100. I go there, and there are several Visalakshi Devi's statue. One statue is very big, and then next to the statue, Ratna finds the old man sitting. Inside the cage is locked with a huge lock. If you have taken note of all these things like I do, huge lock, double lock is inside the cage. Now she is getting the fright of her life. The man was going in front of me, and now he is inside the cage. Who is he now that remembers that word in her dream in Hyderabad? I'll be ahead of you. Oh, he's really ahead of me. Who is this man? He's very old. While walking in front, she sees only the back. Now, Visalakshi Devi, Ambal is sitting there, he is just looking at Ratna. And then he says, looks like very familiar to me. I mean, I have seen somewhere, some picture in my home, something. Come in. Therefore, kept on looking, and then suddenly the old man The lock doesn't unlock. He comes out and say, let's go. He's just following. That's the power of the old man. I was about to say, power of old man. She goes, talks to the driver. Then she's a little bit afraid now. Please go straight to my hotel. She's staying in Fern Residency Hall on the Ashapur Road. Anybody knowing the topography of Varanasi? Ashapur Road is near Sarnath. If you go to Sarnath, that's Ashapur, very close to State Bank of India, main branch, cantonment branch where I used to work in 1972. Don't worry about that. You are not there. Neither. She went all the way to Fern Residency. She is the only one, and she is the only one who, the two of them know Fern Residency, and my host knows because he was in Kashi recently. She goes into the hotel and then orders a nice dinner. The dinner is Italian pasta, and then the white sauce. The pasta comes, and then he goes there. She's dreaming, wondering about this old man. Now she's not sickened by the old man. She says, I want to see him again because he's very familiar. Goes into the dining room of Ashapur's residency and then finds in the corner the old man is already enjoying the same pasta that she ordered. And then her pasta comes. She wants to go near the old man and try to give him first. She walks towards the old man, and the old man vanishes. He comes to her seat. And all these things are unseen by the employees. There's one employee called Raja, 25-year-old young man, whom I tipped a lot because Raja used to be there. Anytime I go into the room in Fern Residency last year. And then Ratna cannot suppress her curiosity. Goes and wants to talk with this old man. When he's about to talk with the old man, he vanishes once again, and the scene changes to Lord Vishwanath's temple, Gadolia, Varanasi. Next, she didn't sleep that night. She goes and she performs the Abhishekam on Lord Shiva. This Abhishekam on Lord Shiva in Kashi is not given to everybody. When you go there, your guide will say, Amma, you should give 5,000 rupees to the priest, 10,000 rupees to the priest. Oh, it's Lord Shiva Abhishekam, it can be 1 lakh. Lord Shiva is Lord Shiva, right? Kashi has developed a different culture today. I'm not denigrating the importance of the temple. It's absolutely the oldest deity, Lord Shiva, is there. In the Vishwanath Mandir, she does the Abhishekam, and then she's walking out of the Sanctum Sanctorum, and the old man is found in the huge area. In the new temple, there is a complex you can walk. It's a new temple, remember. And Ratna is flabbergasted. The old man comes close to her this time. You wanted to talk with me yesterday in your hotel. I'll see you on Thursday. That was a Monday. I'll see you on Thursday in Shirdi. And then he keeps walking and then keeps on reducing, and then he vanishes. Ratna cannot suppress anymore, and then see you in Shirdi. I'll be ahead of you in Kashi. She goes to the residency, and then she couldn't sleep a second night, and she arrives in Shirdi. That was a Thursday. She had a program to stay in Shirdi for 2 days. This is 1000% a real story. Uncle says real stories, right? If it is a fiction or anybody's imagination, I'll tell right in the beginning. This is a real story that happened in Ratna's life. She goes there into the temple complex. Now it is scene changes to Shirdi. Shirdi's temple complex is overcrowded. She stands there in the queue, in the line. She's not from Hyderabad. She's an NRI, and therefore she has a pass. She stays there in the special line for 2 hours and 21 minutes exactly. And in the 2 hours and 20 minutes in the line, she's roving eyes are looking for the old man. I want to take this old man to Hyderabad. From Hyderabad, I'll steal him into the flight and then take him all the way to United States. After all, she's a resident of USA and therefore she's thinking that way. And hours, seconds, minutes are inching away and then she fails to see this old man. By the time she gets into the Samadhi Mandir area, in spite of the Larsen and Toubro, all this fences and all that, steel fences, she gets along very fast. She's just about 50 feet from Shirdi Baba, Samadhi Mandir Shirdi Baba. At that time, you all know by now, she's not looking at the Samadhi Mandir's picture. What a beautiful this thing. Everybody who gets into the last row, you just look at him. She is still looking for the old man. She is very tired. There's so much of chagrin, disappointment writ large on her face. She is just turning her eye. Okay, this old man probably is a cheat. Probably he was cheating me in Kashi. He said, it's reverberating in her mind, I'll see you in Shirdi on Thursday. That is Thursday, that is Shirdi. Pretty much Samadhi Mandir. यहाँ पे वो बुजुर्ग आदमी कहाँ गए हैं, गायब हो गए हैं क्या? He's lost or what? She turns when she says, and then she turns, her focus is on the Samadhi Mandir, the statue. She couldn't believe her eyes. The eyes on Baba's statue became live and it started moving. She says, what? Eyes started moving and then she says, what's going on here? At the time, the face becomes live and then, welcome to Ratna. The face is saying, welcome Ratna. How come you're looking in the crowd when I am here? This is where, just an interruption, off the tangent. This is where your faith lacks in Shirdi Baba. This is where you fail to understand Shirdi Baba whenever he comes before you. This is where you fail to understand the true meaning of what little I say in 1 hour. Sometimes 1 hour and 10 minutes. If nobody is looking at the Perugon on microwave, I'll go for 1 hour and 15 minutes. That is the reason. That is the reason Ron got disappointment when the H1B was not selected. You got to dedicate Atmanivedan. B plus C, that C you will get only when you do very good bhakti. And then bhakti means Navavida bhakti. You cannot become Shama overnight. Nor could you become Dikshit, supposedly a good disciple, only disciple for Shirdi Baba. You can't become overnight. You can become Radhakrishnamayi, Ayi. Baba used to call her Sala Ayi, mean mother Ayi. In Atmanivedan, you cannot become, that's what I said, Shama, Radhakrishnamayi and Dikshit. You can't become an Upasani Maharaj and stand there in Khandoba temple, stark naked. You can't do that. Upasani Maharaj had a very high level of consciousness. That's why he could escape and go without even letting Shirdi Baba know. Now Ron will understand his disappointment. It's actually not disappointment. In the growth, in the evolution, in the equation B plus C, in order to receive the highest level of C, nobody has got the highest level of C in this world except these 4 or 5 Sadgurus. That is the reason Atmanivedan B plus C is equal to, yes, surrender, total surrender is not possible. Your Vedas say total surrender is not possible. Darshini Papa will come here and say, yes. Because she knows total surrender is not possible. She is very young, but she knows some high philosophy. So, to reach that Atmanivedan, to reach at least Shama's scale, to reach Radhakrishnamayi, she got burnt live. Because Baba knew about 50 feet, 100 feet away, she was burnt, roasted live, she died. Why did Baba allow? So many books, I've got a very big discussion now. Why did Baba allow Radhakrishnamayi to be burned to death? She was doing such service, dasya. Best example is Ayi. If I tell you the service she did to Shirdi Baba, the love she had for Shirdi Baba, I'll be talking for at least 24 hours. So much of information is there from people who went there and took those 2 rotis, 1 roti. Therefore, karma and consciousness is very difficult Ratna, standing there in the crowd, now knows when Baba is moving, his lips are moving. She's wondering, is this a bionics Baba? No. Bionics is corrupting human mind. Bionics, neurosurgeons and neurophysicians, neurologists will know more about bionics as against robotics, robots. She's wondering, is he a bionics man? She says, no. He said, I'll see you in Shirdi. And Baba's lips seem to say to Ratna, I'm ahead of you not only in Kashi, but also in Shirdi. And then he became, his eyes and face became statue. I was not only ahead of you in Kashi, you saw me. I gave you Imriti and milk. Your weight has increased by 5 pounds. Because Ratna ate Imriti and milk all the 4 days in Kashi. And in Shirdi she is looking for Imriti. But first Samadhi Mandir. Imriti can wait. And therefore, I was also ahead of you in Shirdi. Ratna's experience in her life so far as an IT super executive is remarkable, just to say one word. She lives with a family in the United States, in this country. A very staunch devotee of Shirdi Baba. Also a great devotee of Bajrang Bali. She enjoys her corporate life every moment because she understands every second is a miracle. Every moment, every minute is a story. That is very true in Ratna's life. Have time? Where is my time machine? Have time, host? Can I talk more about Bihar and Varanasi? Many of you have burning questions, not in your esophagus, in your mind. If you develop enough consciousness, you will have burning questions every day of your life. This could be about your boss, it could be about your husband, it could be about your colleague, it could be about your neighbor. This could be about Bharat, the Prime Minister of Bharat. It could be about that Congress leader who is challenging the Prime Minister in the elections next year. It could be about anything. They are all burning. Meera had a burning question in her mind. Everybody is talking about Shirdi Sai. Everybody is asking me to go to Mylapore temple. This Mylapore is situated in Chennai, southern India, capital of Tamil Nadu. Our host went there just 2 months ago. He was standing there in that very temple. Just like he stood there in Delhi, in the Lodi Road temple, a few days ago. This temple is very famous because of the founder, Sri Sri H.H. Narasimha Swamiji, who brought to the world all the devotees' stories. I'm talking about 2-3 stories. He brought the hundreds and thousands of stories. And all the associated miracles Narasimha Swamiji wrote. His own life I have covered in 2 satsangs. Very tragic life and a very glorious life as a Shirdi Baba devotee. As a Shirdi Baba devotee, your life will be glorious. I give you guarantee. The burning question in Meera is, everybody is telling me to go, and then I have not experienced, I don't even have a photograph. But her father was a good devotee of Shirdi Sai, and he had a picture of Dwarakamayi in his living room. They were living in Chennai, and she entered once at the insistence of her father. Meera entered the temple with her father. Your parents, she knows, I am always accompanying my parents into the temple. My father is a great devotee. My mother is not so much as a devotee. But then I always follow my father in advices of the Singh. He is a very wise man. And then they do the salutation to Shirdi Baba, and then they followed by the circumambulation. When they do the circumambulation, she is looking at the Donimai, the reverberating wonderful Dunimai in Mylapore temple is reflected on her face. Very youthful face, and then she's looking at it. What a great Dunimai, and then reflects on her father's face. She's enjoying this Dunimai. The first taste of Shirdi Baba comes to her from Dunimai in Mylapore. And then she turns around, and the back of the Dunimai on the opposite wall is a Dwarakamayi picture. Many of you would have gone to southern India, Chennai. Some of you live there, who come from there. So this temple is very famous, as famous, because it's more famous than the New Delhi temple, because it was founded by Sri Narasimha Swamiji. Meera is fully enthralled, and then my father takes a 100-rupee note and then gives it to me to put it in the hundi. There's a huge hundi on one side. When you're going on the left side one room, there's a hundi. So she puts, like some fathers always gives the dakshina to the daughters, because they love their daughters, and then her career and life should be wonderful. So the daughters put that. Here is Meera, young lady, puts it in the hundi, turns around and sees the smoldering oblatory fire, which is called Dunimai. And then she looks at Dwarakamayi. And then she goes into meditation. Minutes go by and the hours go by. She's still there in meditation. Her dad is wondering what happened to Meera today. Slowly, the real time started stealing over her mind and consciousness. After all, she is a great devotee of Lord Shiva and others. Shirdi Baba was not known to her. Okay, the power of Shirdi Baba and the power of the shrine, Mylapore temple, was not known to her. So she is saying, his presence is very nice. She's really into meditation, and then she sits there for 2.5 hours. The father has to say, come on, let's go, I have something else to do. It's already evening Aarti time. So she wants to stay more time. So much of grace, and so soon, she's wondering. She's thinking. Everybody is saying Shirdi Baba is the absolute God, absolute Sadguru. He does so much for human beings. Is he in real time a God? She's wondering. She's a graduate, a postgraduate. Is he a real God in this thing? Why is he not dissolving into the absolute? Gods are absolute. So all these philosophical, theological questions haunt her. She is right there standing with her father in front of Shirdi Baba, Mylapore. His Shakti is already started working on her. She concludes, my logic may be wrong. Let me talk to my dad when I go home. And then they all go home. And then not over Duni, over dinner, she talks about Shirdi Baba all the time. His personal presence or impersonal presence, whether you are in Mylapore temple or New Delhi temple, whether you are in Shirdi or Bhuvpuri, the first temple for Shirdi Baba in Maharashtra, wherever you are, can the same things happen? Can I get the same feeling? Is he the absolute among the ordinary thing? Is inordinately absolute or ordinary absolute? What is all this going on in people? Is he really a God? So the father is trying to answer, but his questions are very philosophical. The father says, I do not know. Over the next few months, Meera goes to Mylapore temple several times. When Meera goes to Mylapore temple, she gets addicted to Shirdi Baba. In that temple, when you go behind, there is a statue of Sri Narasimha Swamiji standing next to Shirdi Baba. Have you seen that? Oh, at the back. The Gurusthan is also at the back. Yeah. The most powerful Gurusthan. My wife once was going there around Gurusthan. She sat there, she lost all consciousness, and Gurusthan is always powerful. I just mentioned her example. There are so many examples around the world, I know. She lost her consciousness. I had to wait for nearly 1.5, 2 hours until she got it back, and the story she told was very nice. Shirdi Baba came and asked me, he was taking me around the temple. All those stories, very nice. Now, this absolute God is taking over Meera and answering questions. Because this burning question is, what is going to tell her that your life will be what? Every minute there will be a story, success story. Every moment, every second there will be a miracle in your life. That's what is going to happen. On the dining table, 1 week passed, and then Meera is asking her dad, naturally, can we go to Shirdi? This year is, I forgot to tell you, 1998. December 1998, August 1998 was a visit to Mylapore temple. In December 1998, they are traveling to Shirdi. Mother could not come because she was on a project. Like you all have a project, right? You cannot come. She couldn't come to Dwarakamayi Puja. Deployment, right? Srimati Jyoti couldn't come to Puja, three pujas because, deployment, overnight. They're all IT people, so the IT people's only challenge seems to be deployment. On all other days, they happily clobber on the board. I'm not denigrating ITs. Like Sai Murari told me once, they're paid such ridiculously high salaries just for playing on the keyboard. He's here. He's the only one who can coin such wonderful language about IT people. Perhaps I thought he may be right. These IT people are making, such high salary. They are pretty close to doctors, if not neurosurgeons, neurologists. They make heaven of a lot of money. So IT people also make a lot of, particularly if you are in the executive cadre, director, in charge of India and Poland. They're always a European country. Netherlands and England. Because there is a devotee in Austin who goes to Netherlands, who goes to UK, and then she also she's in charge of half this country. She's thinking of going to Mexico, but then she's in charge of Bangalore in India. If Bangalore is in your pocket, if Hyderabad is in your pocket, what else you want of India? India IT is in your pocket, I used to tell her. And he goes there to see Shirdi Baba. They go there and then they go straight to Pune by flight. From Pune, they go by car, by taxi to Shirdi. They go to Kopargaon. Until Kopargaon, her throat is a little bit blocked. She cannot talk. It's because of the anxiety and the surprise she met with in Mylapore temple. And she lost her consciousness. Until then, the father had to wake her up at Kopargaon. We are pretty close to Shirdi. She wakes up, full blast. She says, we are close to Shirdi. Can I get off the car? No, it is still 12 kilometers. So they go to Shirdi, and then the journey from Kopargaon to Shirdi was very, very interesting. She keeps on thinking about Shirdi Baba. In her mind, a miracle is already happening. Meera says the weather in Shirdi was very nice, very balmy and very beautiful, very pleasant and cool. It's a welcome respite from the mugginess of Chennai. In her book, she writes from the mugginess of Chennai, from the doldrum of my job. This is such a refreshing change. Therefore, we freshened up at the hotel. We both walked into the temple. What a feeling it was. There was a huge crowd that day. Maybe Ram Navami, maybe Dashara, maybe some other festival, Guru Purnima. So she saw a huge crowd of India there, and then if she thinks if the power at Chennai temple is something, this is 1,000 times more than the Chennai temple. Therefore, 1,000 miracles times miracle. She's just very eagerly getting into the Samadhi Mandir. She gets goosebumps. She tells her father, this is a very powerful presence. The energy is so strong. The father also calmly going, he has seen a lot of gods and little bit of Shirdi Baba. And therefore, into the Samadhi Mandir, she says, Baba, when will I see you? She keeps on saying, Baba, when will I see you? She hears a voice from within. You shall see me on the last day. Every story is different. You should not be imagining, this one, that one. This ending is very different. She says, mentally, very rational part, she thinks, but then the mind is a monkey. She thinks, the mind is saying, on the very last day, I will see you. You shall see me, he says, on the last day. In Marathi, Hindi, and Baba talks extremely good English. Maybe you may not know. Baba talks beautiful English. He talks with me whenever he comes before me in Hindi and English only. In front of you, I'm sure he will talk in Hyderabadi, which is Telugu. Right? He knows all languages. Telugu is a sweet language. He knows it. And therefore, he speaks very good Hindi, Marathiized Hindi. His English is flawless. So, Meera is thinking, When will I see you? On the last day? Tells Daddy, Daddy, can we go tomorrow? Just one more day, 2 more days there. And she can't wait for the last day. The last day arrived and still not seen. Baba, you told me that on the last day you will come before me. Where are you hiding? Aap chup kyun? She's looking at the statue. Aap chup kyun? Why are you not talking? You should come before me. Baba didn't come before. Unlike previous devotee. Ratnamala, she met with Kashi, she didn't understand. Now she is not meeting, she is looking at the statue, which is Shirdi Baba live. Shirdi Baba live is measuring all your consciousness today. All those who are present here and all those who are not present here. How is that possible? Another satsang down the road. He knows everybody's mind and heart, what is in it. She looks at him again. He said, there's a voice. Don't you recognize me? I don't recognize you. You are a statue. Your eyes are not blinking. You are not smiling. That's what people tell me. She comes out with the dad. They come out and the group of sadhus are surrounding. They all ask for money. So father is giving some money. India's sadhus, right? They're very holy people. So they give money. And then among the mendicants, among the sadhus, there was one, 2 eyes were very luminous and filled with spirit. There was one mendicant who was surrounding them. Meera looked at that person. Very luminous eyes, very beautiful eyes, colored with blue on the edges. Very powerful eyes. Those of you who have seen Shirdi Baba, I'm not discounting. In dream, I've seen him in dream as well as more times in real. His eyes have a fascinating eyes. Like in Sacharita, Mrs. who? Mrs. Manager went there and she has written in her essay 4-5 pages only on Shirdi Baba's eyes. Bangalore's Lakshmi Tai, what's her name? Lakshmi Tai? Bangalore's. Huh? Shivamma Tai. She goes there when she was 17 years old, looks at Baba's face, she's terrified. He looks like a tiger. First visit, and then she goes very often and she becomes addicted to Shirdi Baba. She becomes a saint. Those of you who are from Bangalore, Madivada village around Bangalore, there is an ashram, dilapidated ashram in the name of Shivamma Tai. Coming back to our Meera Tai, she says, no, but she tell dad, not just dad, look at his eyes. He says, yeah, his eyes says something, and therefore, beset with some hesitation, looking at the eyes, she comes out. She is very, very sorry, the thought that next day they are going to leave Shirdi and going back to Chennai, Pune and then Chennai. That's very heavy in her mind. Hanging very heavy like a Damocles sword, she goes into the hotel and then goes into the dining room. On the way, there is a nice restaurant. Dad says, let's go here. They both go there. When they go there, the server boy comes and Meera Bahanji looks at the server. The eyes are very luminous and then he is coming pretty close and then she again tells the dad, do you look at these eyes? More powerful than the mendicant outside, just within half an hour. And then some miracle. A second, right? Within 10 seconds, that server boy brings whatever they were about to order. The dish is already there and the father says, just to make the father understand who the boy is, he looks at that, is this enough or you want one more plate? In the choicest English and Hindi, because Meera understands more English than Hindi. She is wondering what's going on here. Baba, are you here? Are you the Absolute? Because she is always skeptical of Shirdi Baba's presence in Shirdi. So many people said in the temple she is living. So many of us, including uncle, say that he is live here in this picture. Everybody is lying or what? At the time, said, he brings another cup. He also brings a nice cup of coffee. Filter coffee of Chennai is brought to them and then they are enjoying. At the time, they are done. They are about to go. Meera's eyes are darting over the cashier. When the cashier, she goes there is a Dwarakamayi picture on the other side. On the right side of cashier, there's a huge Dwarakamayi picture. And then the server is looking at the Dwarakamayi picture, and Meera is looking at the picture and the server boy. Baba, and then picture. Picture and the server boy. Oh boy, what an experience for Meera Venkatraman, that's the last name. They go there, and then one server boy a minute, and the attention is very much drawn. And then finally they get out of the hotel, and then when they come to their hotel where they are staying, they got to pack. They open the door, all their suitcases, everything is already packed. Just to prove that I am there everywhere, Baba is in action. Suitcases are all completely filled, and then best compliments of there is a card there on the suitcase to Meera and Mr. Venkatraman. Baba has proved more than sufficiently to Meera. This is just enough. And then they go there, they go to Chennai, and then in Chennai, back in Chennai, she is just wondering Baba's presence in Mylapore temple. She goes to Mylapore temple several times in a week. And then gets enlightened. Today she is living so many stories in Meera's life, so many stories in Meera's dad's life. They can't believe how much they also go to Shirdi twice a year. Whatever happens, they go to Shirdi and then look for that server boy. Oh boy, the server boy comes in different shapes, in different sizes, in different rupa, which is something very well known to Meera Venkatraman. And Ratna also knows all these things extremely well. Do I have some more time? Post. 10 minutes? I am talking about so much about living persons. Talked about Delhi and Chennai. In Maharashtra, there are so many temples for Shirdi Sai. Maharashtra is a land known for saints. Every city in Pune, Mumbai and other places, Pandharpur, right? Vithalji. So many places, so many deities. But then there is a Shirdi Baba temple, just like Bhivpuri near Pune. There is a very ordinary small temple in Matunga. Those of you who come from Mumbai, Bombay, knows Matunga very well. In Matunga, there is a very ordinary, I can't use pedestrian looking, very ordinary, simple looking temple. And Matunga has got very nice devotees in Mumbai even today. And in the temple, adjacent to Kabutar Khana, Kabutar in Hindi is pigeon, right? Kabutar Khana, there is a temple that is filled with lots of vibrations. In that temple, Yashwant Kaparde and his mother used to go there and pay homage early in the morning. This paying homage for the mother is very different, and then for Yashwant, the son, it's very different. Yashwant is educated, he has got a master's degree, he goes always with his mother. And then he is suited and booted, as we say in India, Bharat, and he says, Amma, you go inside and then I'll stay outside. Okay, the mother goes inside and he goes outside. The mother takes about half an hour to buy a platter of all fruits, flowers and all that. Tulsi and others are dear to Shirdi Baba. She goes in. Yashwant thinks it's going to take 2 hours until she prays and then obeys all instructions and makes a ritual and then comes back. Let me go to the tree and then stay below the tree. The sun has started burning and therefore a tree is pretty good, and he is just thinking about Shirdi Baba temple. How astonishing, my mother is so devoted. When will I come devoted? At that time, there is a voice, he hears a voice that just says, Allah tera bala karega. Allah tera bala karega. Allah will bless you. That's the meaning. Baba will always say, Allah acha karega to all the devotees. Bala karega is the same meaning. He hears that. He turns around. There is nobody. Yashwant is wondering, real story. He is wondering, who is this Allah Bala, Allah Acha Karega? What is my life? He understands Hindi, and therefore, what is that? Somebody is blessing me. He just turns around and sees the temple hardly 100 feet away, moves out of the temple shadow, and then goes into the temple. He looks at Shirdi Baba, and then he goes inside, kneels down, and then prays. He meditates. Mother is still there on the other side. He started meditating. After about 5 minutes had passed, and then he is closing his eyes, and then now he opens. He looks at Shirdi Baba. At that time, Shirdi Baba's face is live. Yashwant's real story in Matunga. I'm not sure if he's still living. I wish he's still living. The hundreds and thousands of miracles that Baba did in Yashwant's life and his mother's life show that there is a miracle every second in Yashwant's life. It's going to be in your life sometime soon, down the road. Allah acha karega. And then Baba is sitting there physically. After some time, Yashwant sees Shirdi Baba in full bloom. Real Shirdi Baba, his feet is this thing, is coming forward, and then his hands are blessing him, and then he's flabbergasted, and then he's mentally thanking Baba. He exits after about 10 minutes. He's enjoying. Baba becomes a statue. Let me ask people here and then the students of Shirdi Baba, Saism, anywhere in the world who are watching this. How many of you have gone to your temple and Shirdi Baba's feet coming forward so that you can place your head? How many of you seen the eyes dotting, moving? How many of you seen Baba's statue blessing? How many of you? Maybe one or two, right? That's because of our question, the bhakti should lead to good karma. Good karma will develop C factor. Unless you have an extraordinary C factor, consciousness, you cannot see Shirdi Baba. You can go to the temple, you can easily touch his feet in Shirdi, but seeing him is a different story. That is not the story in my title. That is an altogether different story, a story of different color. I have seen Shirdi Baba so many times. Once 41 minutes I spoke in English and Hindi. When I talk in English, he will reply to me in English. He will tell me so many things. Even today, he tells so many things about all of you. I just say, Shiva, my friend was there in front of you recently. I just say, any questions about Shiva? Make him a global director. Baba will say, done. And he will get it. When Baba says done, who is talking? I am talking. Right? You get a job in TCS. Right? You are looking desperately for a job. You go to Krishna, you go to Radha Krishna, you go to Radha Krishna temple, you come to Shiva temple. TCS is not far, it's not far away. You get a nice job. Your H1B, all your green card or yellow card and all others card, they all can wait. There's no others card here. Others is in Bharat, India. Now, 5 minutes have passed, they come out. After they come out, his life is full of leelas. Can I tell you some leelas? When he goes to some faraway town, his car is ready, he enters the car, there is a smell of Shirdi Baba and his Hudi inside the car. There is jasmine flower coming. Pictures of materialized inside his car. They are hanging. He never bought it. He comes into the temple, another miracle in Yashwant's life. Every minute a miracle, I told you, right? A story. His stories are miracle. He comes into the temple, Baba blows Udi on his face. He blows Udi on his face. Remember, this is Yashwant. I wish he is living today to tell you all. And then his friend Kashinath, he is saying, he is ridiculing all these things. What? He gives you all these experiences. Kashinath says, my mother is also a famous devotee. Let me go to the same temple. He goes, Kashinath, an equal age. And then a good friend goes into Matunga temple. He looks at Shirdi Baba. Skeptical eyes or equally skeptical mind. He looks at Shirdi Baba. At that very moment, Baba's foot comes forward. One foot comes forward. So that Kashinath, he says, Kashinath, idhar aao. Touch my feet. Kashinath comes here. The feet comes closer to his face. He does. Who said Shirdi Baba is not favoring you? Who said Shirdi Baba is not giving you H1B? Did he not give you an additional H1B lottery? If it is yes, raise your hand. Yeah, that is true. An additional thing out of the blue, a lottery. It's a different story altogether that he gets it, he doesn't get it. Baba will take care of your H1B. Baba will take care of your next job. Baba will take care of your GMAT. He's pretty good in English language. Sometimes I learn English from Ron. That's why I tell everybody you should eat fish every day. Fish makes your IQ better. Mama, will fish make my consciousness raise? Research is going on. And Ron is heading that research team. Please tell me if fish eating will increase the consciousness beyond level 8, I'll start eating fish every day. All right? And there is somebody who can make fish in the third home from my home. Am I right? I'm not lying to you. Perhaps he is here. This story of Yashwant, if he is still living, it's very, very beautiful. I wanted to see him, but I don't know where he is living right now. And then there are stories. I'll tell you one last story. How a fourth grade student in Maharashtra, who loses his parents, father and mother, very unfortunately at the age of 4. He could go up in the school up to 4th grade, and then there is no money. Father and mother are not there. How can any boy or girl live? They had a lot of properties, like the story of the 2 girls, of which you are so familiar, we 3 are so familiar, some of you also, Naveen Garu. Very similar story, only difference is these 2 girls from Arizona are fully favored by Shirdi Baba. But then long before these 2 girls, our boy was favored. How did he favor? Every moment he walked all the way because all his property was gone, because all the uncles and aunts took away all the property of the lost parents. He came to the street. He said instead of living in the street, he was hardly 14 years old at that time, started walking towards Shirdi. People said Shirdi Baba is great and Shirdi Baba will take care of you. His mother had told Shirdi Baba, if something happens, should something happen to us, you go to Shirdi Baba because there is a relative there, his uncle is there, very close to Shirdi's Lendi Bagh. He has got a huge home. He starts walking. He has got only 3 annas in his pocket. 3 annas. I can't tell you the dollar equivalent. 3 annas is not even penny equivalent. 3 annas is, 4 annas is 1/4 of a rupee, Indian rupee. 1 rupee in his times was very high. Shama was making 3 rupees. But then the mill owner, manager was making, Tarkat was making 3,000 rupees a month. There's a big difference, right? But Shama became a multi-millionaire because Baba raised his consciousness. He used to play with Shama. He raised his consciousness. Don't play with me after the satsang like this. One person at least did in Austin long ago. Mama, I want to play with you. No, playing with me is per hour is 10,000 rupees, $10,000. You can't play around me or with me. This really happened, real story in Austin. Starts walking. 3 annas in his pocket, hunger, birds burning, fire in his belly. He keeps walking and then he's thinking, Shirdi Baba, I don't know. This is the last story. But then listen to this. How a poor boy who didn't have any education ended up a lackey, if you will, not a millionaire, a lackey in India in that year. 1 lakh means like $10 million today in the United States. He walks there and meets with his aunt, with 3 annas in his pocket. The aunt's home is very close to Shirdi, and he's very happy. There is a flag right there, and then he is talking to the aunt. Aunt says, Appa, take lunch in our home, because meeting Shirdi Sai, you will be overwhelmed, you will forget hunger. That's what happened to everybody. He's pretty close now. You are very close to Lendi Bagh. Eat lunch. He took a vow when he was walking, unless I meet with Shirdi Baba, I will not eat. A 14-year-old boy, I will not eat until I see him, get his blessings. Then I'll eat the prasad that he is going to give me. He walks. He tells the aunt, Amma, auntie, I cannot take. I have to meet with him first. And then he walks. There is a huge, lush sugarcane field through which he has to walk to reach the Lendi Bagh to the old dilapidated Dwarakamayi, Masjid Mai. When he is walking, the uncle is accosting him and he says, why don't you eat and go? Baba is there. He says, uncle, he respects uncle. He says, I'll go eat and then come back. And then he refuses to eat. He also gives some crackers from his pocket. The uncle is a very famous sugar baron, very rich, 1 rupee. He gives, keep this 1 rupee, it will be handy. Very high amount in those days. He goes there, forgets 1 rupee, forgets 3 annas. He goes there, and please listen to the story while walking into the hall. He goes there, he meets Shirdi Baba. When he meets Shirdi Baba, he does Sashtanga Namaskar, and then Shirdi Baba's first question is, give me my dakshina. 14-year-old boy doesn't know what to do. He said, what to do? He says, I don't have money. I don't have money, and therefore forgive me. Baba's repertoire instantly says, look in your pocket. When he puts his hand in the pocket, right pocket, there is this 3 annas. He takes the 3 annas and gives it immediately to Shirdi Baba. Baba says, this is not enough. Give me the 1 rupee. He says, I don't have. Look in your pocket. He takes the 1 rupee and gives it to Shirdi Baba. Baba takes the udi with his blessing and says, this 1 rupee is returned, 3 annas he is pocketing himself. He says, all the blessings and you will become, Om Sri Sai Mahalakshmi Prasada Siddhirastu, we say, right? Narasimha Saraswati. He blesses him and then he comes back very happy, and the aunt gives him food. While staying there for the next 1 week, he stays there with uncle and aunt. His routine is go into the sugarcane field and then try to do labor work. Anybody knowing his name? Anybody? Have I forgotten his name? His name is Baburao Borao K. I told a story 10, 12 years ago once in the temple. Borao K is very, very happy. He forgets his education, 5th standard. The aunt says, work in our sugarcane field, you will be all right. And then he thinks of Baba every day. And he starts working in the sugar field. And then looking at the sugar crop, one of the friends of the uncle comes and says, who is working? There is so much of difference between last year and this year. Is there any new crop? Anybody working? The uncle says, my nephew Baburao is working here. He's very happy. Uncle says, I'll take him. Uncle's friend says, I'll take him as one of the partners in my field. He has got 56 acres of sugarcane. And therefore, he becomes a Borao becomes a partner at the age of 15. And then the 2 fields, Borake's friend's field, Borake's uncle's friend's field, at the end of 2 years, the net profit is 4 lakhs. He's a partner, he gets 2 lakhs. Remember, in those days, the 50s, somebody getting 2 lakhs of profit, it's like you are winning a mega million of 895 million. 895 million. You will go crazy, right? Borake didn't go crazy. He starts working. And then Borake, 2 lakhs he gets. He builds a beautiful bungalow. That bungalow, I saw that this time. It's on the way to Rahata. On the right side, there is a beautiful bungalow. There is a Sansan has put a board. This belongs to Bavra Borake. Somebody is living there. They will welcome you and give you sugarcane juice very appropriately. He became a sugar baron. Not even studied 4th grade. You all have done MS Computer Science, right? The comparison is not ending there. MS Computer Science, you should innovate computer science. I tell everybody at UTD, at least there I got a small visitor center platform. I meet with IT students. I meet with neuroscience students. They come and say, Uncle Ji, I know you. How do you know me? You were a professor here, right? No, I was not a professor here. I was a professor at Rahata. That's what your students tell me. And therefore, all these IT persons, you should find out a software, one button. The hacker of my email and your email, this address should come on the phone, on the screen. Can you do that? With a higher level of consciousness, you can do that. You need not wait for the bionics man to come and operate your this thing. Your boss will be bionic, everybody will be bionic, and you will wish, Shirdi Baba, make me also bionic. It will be a bionics world. That is what scientists are now worried. Now we are looking at all the neurosurgeons and neurologists. They are all aiding this bionics age. They are not abetting, aided and abetted. No, they are aiding. They also want to see who is a bionics man. We will check his brain. Bionics man will not allow his brain to be tested by neurologists, real human being neurologists. You will say, are you a bionics neurologist? Otherwise, don't touch me. That is the age you are all going through. Before that, all the IT people should innovate your technology. It is not enough if you get that 239K or even 435K. It's enough for your life in this country. Very comfortable life. But then, this is the future. Like our future I discuss with my daughter, a future doctor in neurology, and the other neurologists, other pediatricians. I discuss with them the science that they are going to meet in 10 years. They are surprised. They are surprised because such a science does not exist today. But with a higher level of consciousness, you can see that coming. It is coming. It was coming in Kashi. Ratna could perceive it. It was coming in Shirdi. Our Meera Venkatraman could perceive it. There are 2-3 other stories. Boravke could perceive. He saw every day Shirdi Baba. Do you see Shirdi Baba every day? In the 1918s and 16s, this story took place in 1917. So for 1 year he was doing Namaskar twice a day. Sugarcane field, go there before 1918. He felt very sorry that he attained Nirvana. 1918 Vijayadashmi day. This Borake lived a shining example of every minute and every second. Thank you so much for this opportunity to talk about the title. This title is exactly one of the chapters in my book. And from my book I talk. But written and spoken, they are very different. Written will have more authentic messages, dates, names, photographs. Hopefully I'll publish it down the road sometime. There are devotees who request me to talk about certain topics. There are devotees who tell me their woes. That is the reason I brought a lot of extra material. Not for the satsang, I can always tell you. There is this famous devotee, Vanimurti Jayanti, in some city. There is this extremely dynamic Houston devotee. There is this wonderful devotee in whose home flowers used to fly straight from her hand, 100 feet, 50 feet, 10 feet, from her hand, horizontal trajectory into Shirdi Baba's hand. This is happening even today. So there is a big story, and some of you know her. And there is this Dubai devotee. This Dubai devotee, he sees a miracle every day. Not every second, every day. This is the Dubai devotee. He is going to see big time in Bharat. And then finally, Shiva Mata is visit to Shirdi Baba several times. This is Shiva Mata. I don't have time to share. That is why this goes as extra material. If anybody wants to know, I'll be happy to share. Otherwise, I'll talk about them in some satsang. Thank you so much, particularly the Atlanta devotees, Suji, Priyanka, and Suresh, with Sana and Sailan, the children, for their doing the puja for the first time in their home. They will have several miracles in their home. Also the Austin devotee, Sushmita and Naveen Garu. All these persons will get intertwined with Shirdi Baba's miracles pretty soon. Now, let us do the Dwarakamayi Puja. Om Sri Sai, everybody ready? Om Sri Sai Nadaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Nadaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Lakshmi Narayana Namaha. Om Sri Sai Krishna Rama Siva Maruti Yati Rupaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sesha Saine Namaha. Om Sri Sai Godavari Tadashila Divasine Namaha. Om Sri Sai Bhakta Hirdayalaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sarva Hirdayanaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Budhavasaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Buddha Bhavishya Pavavarjitaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Kalatitaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Kalakalaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Kalaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Kaladarpadamanaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Mrityunjayaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Amartyaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Martya Abhaya Pradaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Jivadaryaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sarvadaraya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Bhaktavana Samarthaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Bhaktavana Pradiknyaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Annavastradaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Arogya Shemadaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Dhanamangalya Pradaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Buddhi Siddhi Pradaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Riddhi Siddhi Pradaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Putra Mitra Kalatra Bandhudaya Namaha. Putra Mitra Kalatra Bandhudaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Yoga Shemavahaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Marga Bandhave Namaha. Om Sri Sai Apad Bandhavaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Priyaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Priyaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Priti Vardhanaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Antaryamine Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sachidatmane Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sachidatmane Namaha. Om Sri Sai Nityanandaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Paramasugataya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Parameshwaraya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Parabrahmane Namaha. Om Sri Sai Paramatmane Namaha. Om Sri Sai Paramatmane Namaha. Om Sri Sai Jnana Swarupine Namaha. Om Sri Sai Jagadapitreye Namaha. Om Sri Sai Bhaktanam Matru Datru Pitamahaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Pitamahaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Bhakti Sakti Pradaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Jnana Vairagya Pradaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Prema Pradaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Samshaya Hirdaya Daurbalya Papa Karma Vasana Shayakaraya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Hirdaya Granthi Bedagaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Karmadvamsine Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sutta Sasvastidaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Gunadita Gunatmane Namaha. Ananta Kalyana Gunaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Amita Parakramaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Amita Parakramaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Jaine Namaha. Om Sri Sai Ananta Kalyana Gunaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Jaine Namaha. Om Sri Sai Durdarsha Shobhaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Aparajitaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Trilekeshu Avigata Gataye Namaha. Om Sri Sai Akshaya Rahitaya Namaha. That should read Om Sri Sai Asakya Rahitaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Swarupa Sundaraya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sulokshanaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sulokshanaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Bhagirubha Vishwamurtaye Namaha. Om Sri Sai Arubhavyaktaye Namaha. Om Sri Sai Ashintaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sushmaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sushmaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Bhagirubha Vishwamurtaye Namaha. Om Sri Sai Ashintaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Manovagatitaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Prema Murtaye Namaha. Om Sri Sai Prema Murtaye Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sulabha Durlabhaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Asakya Rahidaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Anathanatha Dina Bandhave Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sarva Bharaptute Namaha. Om Sri Sai Akarmaneka Karma Sukarmine Namaha. Om Sri Sai Punya Shravana Kirtanaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Tirthaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Vasudevaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Amrutamsave Namaha. Om Sri Sai Bhaskara Prabhaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Brahmacharya Tapasaryadi Suvrataya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Satya Dharma Parayanaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Satya Dharma Parayanaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Siddheshwaraya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Siddha Shankalpaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Siddha Shankalpaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Yogeshwaraya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Bhagavate Namaha. Om Sri Sai Bhaktavatsalaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Satpurushaya Namaha. Satyadattva Bodhagaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Satyadattva Bodhagaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Siddheshwaraya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Kamadi Sadvairi Dvamsine Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sarva Sammata Sammataya Namaha. Sama Sarvamata Sammataya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Sri Sai Venkatesa Ramanaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Venkatesa Ramanaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Atpudananda Charyaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Prabannarthi Haraya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Samsara Sarva Dukkha Shayakaraya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Samsara Sarva Dukkha Shayakaraya Namaha. Samsara Sarva Dukkha Shayakaraya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sarvabhishta Pradaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sarva Mangalagaraya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sarva Mangalagaraya Namaha. Sarva Mangalagaraya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sarva Mangalagaraya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sarva Mangalagaraya Namaha. समरस षण्मार्ग स्थापनाय नमः। ओम श्री साई समर्थ सद्गुरु साईनाथाय नमः। श्री साईनाथाय नमः। नाथाय नमः। ओम श्री साई श्री अनंत कोटि ब्रह्मांड नायक राजाधिराज योगिराज परब्रह्म श्री सच्चिदानंद सद्गुरु साईनाथ महाराज की जय। श्री साईनाथ महाराज की जय। श्री महाराज की जय। I wish our lives are that calm and giving boost to your consciousness in life. That is the 1 minute you spent praying to Him for whatever you want. There are no limits. Whatever you want, you will reach. That guarantee this uncle is always giving. Today I give you the same guarantee.
शिर्डी माझे पंढरपूर साई बाबा रमावर साई रमावर साई बाबा रमावर शुद्ध भक्ती चंद्रभागा भाव पुंडलिक जागा भाव पुंडलिक जागा याहू याहू अवघे जन करा बाबासी वंदन साईसी वंदन करा बाबासी वंदन गणू म्हणे बाबा साई धाव पाव माझे आई धाव पाव माझे आई.
श्री साई नमो नमः. जय जय साई नमो नमः. सद्गुरु साई नमो नमः. ओम साई नमो नमः. श्री साई नमो नमः. जय जय साई नमो नमः. सद्गुरु साई नमो नमः. साई नमो नमः, श्री साई नमो नमः, जय जय साई नमो नमः, सद्गुरु साई नमो